These mares have been written up in books of like the greatest brood mares of the 20th century. So they were very, very important. They said Mr. Chenery had a good eye for a mare. And his philosophy was that in the breeding equation, the mare was as important as the stallion. The prevailing notion at that time was if you had a great stallion, you could breed him to anything, and you'd get a decent horse. Mr. Chenery believed the mare was just as important. And it's actually, he proved to be very visionary. He didn't know it at the time. How many of y'all have heard of Secretariat's large heart?
Yeah.
Okay. When he died at the age of 19 and they did the autopsy, they found out that Secretariat's heart was 22 pounds. The normal thoroughbred heart is 8 to 10. So his heart was over 2 times larger. It was not pathologically enlarged. As Penny said, it was just a bigger power pack. Guess where the large heart comes from? The broodmare. The broodmare. It's on the X chromosome, and it comes from the broodmare. Man of War had the large heart. Eclipse had the large heart. A lot of the best horses had it. And it doesn't mean that a horse with a large heart is going to be another Secretariat. But this came from the broodmares. Nobody had any idea what was going to happen next. Now, of course, Triple Crown dreams immediately come into play. Riva wins the Derby. Can he win the Preakness in the Belmont? He runs in the Preakness. It had rained and rained and rained, and it was a big swamp, and he could not run in the mud. So he lost the Preakness. He did come roaring back, and he won the Belmont. So he won 2/3 of the Triple Crown. Usually, that is enough. That'd be more than enough for a horse to win Horse of the Year. Huge honor. Well, he didn't win it. Guess who won Horse of the Year in 1972? A 2-year-old colt named Secretariat. Because he had burst onto the scene, winning everything under the sun as a 2-year-old and impressing everybody. And then, of course, the next year, in 1973, Secretariat is going to become the first horse. Does anybody know how many years it had been?
48.
Since 1948. 25 years since there had been a Triple Crown winner. Now, he kept racing after the Triple Crown. People don't know that. He kept setting records in racing after the Triple Crown. And there's no telling what he could have done as a 4-year-old. But because Mr. Chenery died, as I said, in January of 73, the estate taxes were 70%. Secretariat and Riva were both syndicated. And so that meant they both went to stud at the end of 73. And that's where they were at Claiborne Farm in Kentucky. Secretariat to the age of 19 and Riva to the age of 16.